Beavis and Butthead beginning. All right, here we are. Another episode of On The Delo. It's episode 215. It is a Friday, and I'm so excited for my big manly friends to come in and hang out with me today. It's going to be fun stuff. We are recording this episode, as I was just talking to the gentleman, we are recording this episode in, April? So this is probably coming out in June. But that's what we do, man. We batch these things up so that we can, get you guys episodes on a weekly and a timely manner. And this is not the easiest thing in the world to run a podcast, like getting people in here. And I've never done an episode where it's been online. It's all been in person.
Right.
Because we get to do this and hang out and you get a real good feel for it. Yeah.
Face to face.
Face to face, exactly. But for Monday coming up, which will be still in April, I will have released the Risky Business, the liquor liability book, which I don't have a copy of right now because I was getting my wife's window fixed, and I brought it to the office like a good husband, and they came out here and they did the whole windshield replacement, which I paid cash for because being in insurance, I know how bad the insurance companies are going to screw you if you have too many glass claims on you, and it's just cheaper to pay the damn thing, and they give you a discount.
So there's going to be a
lot.
Well,
it's Arizona. You get them all the time, and then it's kind of the same with like medical. It's like you're just better off paying your doctor out of pocket because you just get screwed by these insurance companies. I'm telling you. All right, let's get into it. We've got our boys from Craft Culture in. How are we today?
Great.
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I got your new hat on.
I love it.
What
Looks
did you get?
Good on you.
Are these fresh? Like,
no, we've had them for probably a little over a year now. The gray one you got was from the actually the second batch that we had.
Okay.
So I did a little bit of a redesign on it and made it a little cooler.
I like it.
Yeah.
You have that marketing sense to you.
A little bit of an artist.
A little bit of an artist?
Yeah. Well, fancy boy.
Why don't we get a little bit into origin story of where you both, had come from, what you were doing, before this, and then how you guys came together.
All right. I guess I'll take it. I've been in this side of the business for about 25 years now. I was from the hospitality and bar business before that. That's actually where I met Dave years and years ago when I was a young man.
That's crazy.
Not in the young man anymore, but got out of the bar business, and I was about 28 and realized that there wasn't a real solid future in that. I wanted to be a grown-up. And I went to work for Hensley Beverage, Anheuser-Busch distributor here in town. Did a couple of things there, delivery and stuff like that, and moved over into the draft service side of things, where we started doing install and service things and all of that, and kind of baptism by fire into the long draw glycol side of things during that time. Worked for them for almost 15 years. Left Hensley Beverage and went to work for Micromatic, who is a company that makes draft equipment. They're a big supplier and manufacturer here in the States. Actually, they're an international company. Worked for them for a couple of years. I went to Northern California.
Oh, yeah.
Up in the Bay Area, was a sales rep for them for a couple of years. And my best friend, who happens to be Josh's brother-in-law, started a company in Texas, in Austin.
Wait, Josh isn't your best friend?
He's my very good friend.
No.
You guys work together.
We barely like each other.
We tolerate each other mostly. We haven't murdered each other yet.
Yeah.
But he started a company doing this in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And as he was growing that company, Josh was the first person to start working for him then. And once they were starting to grow, I told him I was more than happy to come down there and work with him as that company was growing. And I was about 2 years into Micromatic. And he called up and said, hey, man, this thing is growing faster than I expected it to. Are you ready to come down to Texas? And uprooted the family. My wife is such a trooper.
Yeah.
She's
Your wife's cool.
So on board with when we moved to California, it was just sight unseen. Like we found a house online, had never been to where we just went there.
Yeah.
Same thing in Texas, found a house online in the Austin area. Moved down there. We were there for a few years, and that company opened an office here in Arizona where Josh came out. And while they were here in Arizona, because all of us are from here, Chris was leaving. He had a partner in the company at the time. And he got kind of headhunted by Micromatic, who I used to work for.
I remember that. Okay, yes.
And, you know, they're a smart company. They know him. The guy is, Chris is brilliant.
What's he doing now?
A lot of that. He's such a plate
Just all
spinner,
over the
man.
place.
Yeah, I mean, between national accounts and I mean, he flies all over the world with that company, building things, and you know, he runs a nonprofit. He does all of the things. I've never known a person that spins more plates than that guy. The most type A person I've ever known. But he got headhunted by them. He sold his rest of the company off to his partner.
Yeah.
And while we were here during that, things got a little shaky, and we decided to start having some conversations about going off on our own. And the partner came out here and said he wanted to pull everything back to Texas. And you guys can come back to Texas, or you can figure it out. And we decided we were going to figure it out. And 2022, April 1st, Craft Culture Draft Solutions was born.
What a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've been going at it ever since.
Ever since. Yeah. And so, Joe, what's a little bit of your background?
Mine, well, before my brother-in-law asked me to take the family out to Texas, you know, go do life with them and be employee number one at, you know, the old company, I was just kind of doing whatever. I hadn't figured out what my grown-up job was going to be yet.
Right.
So a little bit of logistics, a little bit of over-the-road trucking, a little bit of time in the Navy.
You kind of have a little bit of all of that stuff. So you're good with your hands, but you obviously understand logistics and math and all the stuff that you need to do. So this is a perfect fit for you.
Yeah. And it ended up being, so I didn't know a whole bunch about it. You know, I had a few Bud Lights, but other than that, I didn't know much about beer.
Right, yeah.
But we got to Austin, and I figured out really quickly I enjoyed the work. I love putting puzzle pieces together.
That's cool.
Solving problems, troubleshooting. So this work fit me very, very nicely. And then beer is amazing, so I got into the adventure of trying everything I can get my hands on, and I really became a huge fan of just, you know, craft beer as a whole. And then that's what I've been doing for about 10 years now for me. Yeah. Just installing, servicing, maintaining draft systems. So
10 years goes by fast.
Yeah,
doesn't
it goes by real fast.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
crazy.
I even think about my career and being 26 years into, you know, what I've been doing, and it's just like, oh, where did that go, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I'm just waking up excited, like I'm sure you guys are now, because you're probably just getting to that. I mean, you're getting to that point, even though it was 2022 you said, right, that you formed this. Mm-hmm. You're getting to that point where you're so well established, you're so well known, and now it's a matter of like, how much manpower do we have to be able to take care of all the businesses coming our way? Yeah.
Manpower is always the thing. We work in a weird industry.
Yeah.
It's a thing, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
You know, I'm coming from the bar business, and, you know, I've changed 1 million kegs and done all the things, and I thought I understood how draft beer works, and then I got into this side of the business and found out I didn't know anything about how draft beer works. It's actually a lot more complicated animal than people give it credit for. And, you know, margins are great on that side of the business, but it's really easy to be losing a lot of money if you're not paying attention to it, because people give bad information all of the time. It's a battle that I've fought since I was at Hensley. It's a battle that I've fought, is people just going out and they, you know, someone from a distributor gives someone a bit of information, and they go, well, they've got a Miller or a Coors or a Budweiser logo on their lapels, so that means everything they say is gospel. And
they're selling something.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And there's so much bad information out there.
Yeah.
There's so many things that are keeping people from maximizing their draft system, that, you know, that's all that foam that goes down the drain, all those bad pours is just money out of your pocket.
So let's educate a little bit. So tell me a little bit tell the audience about your service and why, by you coming in there, not only can the product taste better, but you can also save them money.
Yeah. I mean, biggest things with draft beer are always pressure and temperature.
Yeah.
Those are almost always the problems we run into out there when someone's having foamy beer issues. And the big one with temperature is if the beer is too warm, CO2 reacts differently at different temperatures. When it's cold, CO2 gets lazy. As it warms up, it gets wild and wants to break out. So really about 38 degrees is your cutoff. Once you get above 38, CO2 wants to break out. So if your entire system, if you have a direct draw system, and getting into the weeds a little bit, but that's just a walk-in cooler right on the other side of the wall, or a kegerator. It's just direct draw. It's real easy to keep that temperature, but if it's 40 degrees, you're just going to constantly get foam. Every time you pour that, you hit that handle, you get a glass full of foam. I watch bartenders. I've watched it, almost all my life. Bartenders just dump foam down that drain.
So hold on, because I want to know this, because I'm an idiot when it comes to beer and what you guys do. Is foam actual waste product?
Oh yeah,
100%. So
okay,
foam,
so that's where
if you had a full glass of foam, top to bottom, once you let it settle, 25% of that is beer.
No
so that's
kidding.
25% beer. Yeah.
Okay.
So every time they're pouring it down, and over all of the years, the times you've watched a bartender put a pitcher underneath and, open it up and just walk away from it, and foam is just billowing out of the top of the thing.
That's your bottom line.
Yeah, that's just it's your bottom line. And when you're in just a straight bar, you don't serve food, everything, spirits, all of that they're all high margin products. But whenever you're in the restaurant side of things, food is tight margins.
Yeah.
I mean, so if your bar is working at its best, the amount of extra money that you have there is really alleviating so much stress on the food side, where you're having to pay attention. What I've seen from people is they tend to ignore the bar a little bit because the margins are high, so that they can focus on the restaurant side. But by doing that and not taking ownership of that bar side in your beverage program and really paying attention to what the beer is doing, you're just letting money go away. It's just flying out the window.
You're foaming it away.
Substantial amount of money. I mean, monthly it's substantial. Yearly, it's astronomical numbers.
Yeah, and that's just based on just foam waste from like poor temperature or unbalanced CO2 in the system, which could potentially overcarbonate your kegs. But that's not even to talk about like how overlooked draft line cleanings are. Right.
Yeah.
Because your line cleaners may be coming through, but on the whole, not to blow anybody up specifically, but on the whole, they don't do a fantastic job. A lot of them are rushed. There's tons of locations for them to go to if they're working for a distributor.
Yeah.
And corners are cut, boxes are checked, and they leave without really doing
It's like
the
lazy work, basically.
Absolutely.
It is.
And those are entry-level positions, and it's hard to get people who care about their jobs to do those things. But when it's not done properly, the other thing to consider is, sure, there's foam waste, and that's measurable. And what's a little harder to measure is if your lines aren't clean, the beer doesn't taste like it's supposed to, right? So it's coming through with off flavors. A customer who may have planned to have 2 or 3 only has half because it tastes horrible, and they send it back to the bar, right? Those are unclean lines. And then another aspect of it that's not quite as measurable is your staff, right? Proper training for bartenders to pour proper beer and do it in such a way to where it's not, you don't open a faucet, wait a second, and then put the glass under, because that's all beer going down the drain. You'll see bartenders do that all the time. And it's a hard, those are difficult personalities to communicate with at times, because they think, they're confident in what they're doing. Yeah. They're supposed to be confident. That's what they do.
Right.
But to come in and encourage retraining and stuff like that is extremely important, because the system may be perfectly balanced, but if you have a bartender who's just done it this way forever, opening a faucet, letting it pour into the drain for a second, and then putting the glass under, that's still beer that can be saved, profits that can be saved if we retrain and teach them how to pour a proper pint.
So is that part of what you guys do? Will you do training on how to
We do offer that
properly
to people.
pour?
Yeah, that's and some of that
Is that on your YouTube?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Coming
but it's about
soon.
To be. Yeah,
Okay.
coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
The YouTube stuff is on the very front end.
We're gonna have a marketing meeting right now.
It is, yeah, because it's one of the things that we want to do. There's a lot of the things that we do that it's just free information. It's something that Josh and I tell our customers all the time when we're working with people. There are a lot of the problems that you're having. If you call me and you just give me 10 minutes on the phone, phone calls are free.
It's value add.
Service calls are service calls. You get charged for those. But if you call me and you just give me 10 minutes and go, hey, check this, you probably can get your beer up and running. You don't have a service call, and you don't have, the couple of hours to 24 hours that you're waiting for someone to come
Right.
and fix the thing for you, so you're also not selling while you're doing that. We can fix it over the phone for free. We answer phone calls for free all of the time. And the YouTube channel is going to be something to kind of offer some of those things that are, you know, kind of 101 things on beer that you can come there, you can look and learn a couple of things. And it's something I promote a lot because I want restaurant and bar owners to really kind of take ownership of the idea that the system is yours. For years and years, distributors, you know, Arizona liquor law has the distributors cleaning the lines for people. That's on, you know, in their scope of work. But it's still a lost leader for those. Those companies are there to sell product, not.
They don't want to hire the labor to go out there.
So
or have them
it's
doing it.
just a lost leader for them. So having expecting someone else to care about that is just a bad idea. In my opinion, you as the bar restaurant owner have to care about these things and care about what are you serving to the customers. Because like we were talking about with loss, some of the things that are hard to quantify are the customer experience. I can put numbers on foam going down the drain. I have numbers for that. If you have a system you should be getting 95% keg yield out of every keg.
Wow.
That's what you should expect to get out of every keg. So that takes into consideration line cleaning, where you lose some beer and things like that, but you should get 95%. There's a ton of places out there that are getting 75. And once you start getting into people who they're not keeping the temperature right, the beer is too warm, so you have that much foam. I see people out there with 50% keg yield. That's a ton of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's so much money going down the drain. And those things are easy to quantify, but customer experience with dirty lines, the beer not tasting right, and people just like, And I'm that guy. I go to a place, I've got a list of places that, you know, I will and won't have a draft beer. Yeah. Because I know what.
Well, professional drinkers know where to drink. Like, you know, and they're going to stop going to a place if their beer tastes like bunk.
These places take care of their stuff. I'm going to go there. And that's a harder thing to, you know, put down on a piece of paper and quantify. But if we can educate people to understand that stuff and go, oh, there's things I'm missing out on. And I do want people to come into my place. I want them to have a great experience and tell all of their friends about what a great place this is. Those are the things that if you care about that, people like us will come in and people like us specifically. There are a lot of people that do what we do, but I don't think that there are a ton of people that care about it. And I come from the hospitality and the service side.
You created a niche with a passion for what you do that gives
it's
value.
because of where I come from. And, you know, a lot of guys get into this line of work. They come from more the trade side of things. Right. And I mean, you know, we've all dealt with tradespeople before, and, you know, it's hard to get a hold of them a lot of times and things like that. I am a service person. Yeah. I will live and die by service, and I spend my money the same way. I would rather spend a little bit more to get someone that's going to give me the attention and the service that I'm looking for.
But is it really more when you're saving their margins?
Exactly. Right. Yeah. That's really the point, is it's not it's more upfront. But, you know, if I charge a little more on the install because I'm going to do it right and I'm going to do a super clean, like we love our walk-in coolers. They're so dialed and neat and organized is the big thing for us. Anybody can put a tower in and put pieces together, but can you balance the system? And can you put it together in an organized way where everyone who works in that bar understands where everything goes? Yeah. You know?
Yeah. No, that totally makes sense. And excuse my naivety, even though I'm in hospitality supposedly, but is there a difference, and are there lines for like liquor and wine and stuff like that?
It used to be different. The way we build standard, we build a system now. Every system we design, you can pour anything through our systems. And we do a lot of that stuff. We do a lot of cocktails on tap, wine on tap, all of that stuff. And we use specific kinds of lines, 304 stainless steel for all the metal parts. Years ago, brass was everywhere. You still see it out there. A lot of brass out in the world. That's kind of just what the standard was for everyone. Yeah. In beer. Stinky. And it's so dirty. Yeah. But once things like wine and cider came along, cider with the acidity of it, it eats away at the brass. I've seen faucets out there that are just disintegrating because of the acidity in ciders, and wine, specifically brass, throws a sulfur taste and smell on wine. You have to use 304 stainless steel for that stuff. So since that's just the standard, the only thing that makes a difference for us is the gas that we use to push it. If it's carbonated or if it's like a still cocktail or a wine,
Okay.
we use a different gas for it.
Nice.
Everything else in the system is the same.
And to clarify that a little bit further, if you have an existing system
Yeah.
and you want to put a cocktail or a wine on tap or something, you do need to ask these questions. But the way that we design our systems now is to be flexible on that front, so that if you're having a system built by us, it is something that you can change products and experiment and throw something new on and really mess with your beverage program to do something cool and exciting. However, if you have a pre-existing system, an older system, these are questions you definitely need to answer or ask, and the answer is usually going to be no, it's not ready for whatever you're trying to do, and we'd be happy to help.
Probably have to run
get
like
you
a
set
separate
up.
line or do something like that.
Get vinyl out of the system. Sometimes run a separate line.
Yeah.
And in the more extreme, where the system's older and harder to work on, usually the answer is like a separate keg box.
That makes sense.
Or something like that. Yeah.
So I want to talk about getting some color with the audience, and a lot of my audience are restaurateurs and bar owners that listen to this, and so many of them are opening new facilities. So how does like somebody like you get to know who you guys are? How do I say this? Like, say PV Mall, I'm just kind of thinking of that. And you have all these empty shells and these new places coming in, right? And obviously you're going to have bars in there, restaurants are going to have lines and all that. How do you guys get in the door? Or how does somebody get to know about you to get you in the door? Or how is that usually done? Is it the contractor that ends up finding somebody, or?
It can be so many ways.
Yeah.
We are members of the Craft Brewers Guild,
Yep.
ARA,
Yeah.
Local First Arizona.
All the same shit I do.
So so that we can be in contact with these people and know. Sometimes it's a restaurant supply food service company will reach out because they're supplying all of the things, but they still need labor to do the job. So they'll reach out and introduce us to some of these people. That relationship can be a little bit sticky because technically we're competition for them. I am looking to sell the equipment also, and I'm looking to sell it because I'm going to be the one that designs it. I know the questions to ask. Are you going to do a cocktail program? Are you trying to do cold brew coffee? All of these things where people on that side of things, they're filling a restaurant full of
Stuff,
kitchen equipment and furniture and all these things. They don't have people in there under their umbrella unless they reach out to us that understand the right questions to ask. And I've run into that when I worked for Micromatic. We had an example of a place that went very badly because it was a restaurant supply company that didn't ask questions. They just didn't, because they don't know. They didn't know the questions to ask. They had a request for a large draft system, and that was kind of the end of the conversation. So they designed it for them and sold it to them, and then I sent a guy out there to do an install, and as he was finishing up, guys are bringing product in, and he's seeing coffee and tea and sodas and a few beers, but it was all brass because it was a direct draw right through the wall. So the wrong gas, the wrong metal,
stuff,
all the wrong stuff. And I get a call from this very large international company in San Francisco going, hey, there's a problem. And I had to go and mend a lot of fences with a lot of people because they just didn't know the right questions to ask. They had a request, and early stages of these build outs, they don't usually have a bar manager or a beverage manager who's already made decisions on what the program is going to be. So there's a lot of those decisions that haven't been made yet. So someone might not even have the right answers for those questions, which is why when we design a system, we design it so you can pour anything. So if something happens and maybe they needed a different gas, nothing that we have to change is really substantial. It's not invasive surgery. It's a matter of adding a new gas. Maybe there's a regulator change or something for what is feeding that keg and pushing it to where it needs to go. But the system itself essentially is still just the system. There's nothing about it that we have to change because that's just our standard on how it's going to be. I've been in the business long enough to know that this guy's decisions on what's going to be pouring could easily change in 6 months when he doesn't exist anymore. And there's a new person with a bunch of new ideas. So we try for ownership and the people that have to deal with it. We want to be flexible for them so that when these changes come, it's real easy. You make a phone call. Either it's already good to go or, we just need to make a small change It's real easy to do, and there's no waiting around for equipment and all of those things because it was designed that way from the beginning.
I love that. That's great. You have anything to add, sir?
Yeah. To the question, because Scott was ranting there.
I do ramble.
But we do get referrals from some of the distributors as well.
Yeah.
So we'll get some of that as well. And then we love working with breweries. So we do get a fair amount of word of mouth from our brewery friends as well. I don't know how many we're planning on name dropping, but
Saddle Mountain.
Saddle Mountain
We do
Brewing.
Saddle
She's the
absolutely.
best. She sat
Yep.
right there.
Lori's
And,
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great. That was
Yeah.
a great
That was
episode.
great. Amazing.
We've done all of Wren House's new locations, so we get a lot of good work
great.
from them.
Yeah.
We're working with Pinnacle, Mother Road.
Yep.
Work with Dark Sky up in Flagstaff.
Yeah, in the
so-
very early days, worked with
Yeah.
Dark Sky on their
Nice. Good.
the new location they opened on the backside of the brewery. Up
Shit,
there.
I got to give you guys some flyers. You just named a bunch of clients I don't have. That's great.
But yeah, no, we love connecting with the craft beer scene specifically,
Yeah.
and we get a lot of great referrals from them because the people who are coming to town wanting to serve local stuff, they go to the local places.
sure.
And if we're doing a good work for the breweries in town, then they're going to send some stuff our way. And then yeah, I mean, currently we're in the middle of a huge marketing push.
Yes.
Big reason why we're here.
Okay, so tell me. I
yeah.
just saw your ARA announcement.
Nice. Good.
Okay, very
Great. Yep.
very good. I've done those. We'll talk about that off camera. But what are you guys promoting? Because I'm going to start promoting it with my stuff.
Absolutely. So we are starting a big campaign, huge push for we are doing free draft system health checks.
Amazing.
Okay. So a customer can call us up and we're going to go out there. It's 100% free. We're going to do an all points inspection on your draft system. If you have a long draw system, we're checking out your glycol chiller. We're checking out your CO2 sources, your gas blender, how your towers are set up, how your cooler is set up, how clean everything is. We can usually tell if a distributor, a line cleaner is doing the work that they're supposed to be doing as far as line cleanings and stuff like that. And you're going to get all the information that you need.
Yeah.
We're going to have a nice clean report to send to you. We're going to slap one of our stickers up there for service calls in case there's an emergency.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. And but the report is fantastic because it's something that you can keep on hand because if you have a problem, even if it's not us you call, the draft service person who's worth anything will ask you certain questions.
Yeah.
And oftentimes an owner or a bar manager may not know the answers. This report's going to have all those answers, what kind of blend you're using, if it's a long draw system, short draw, how many taps you have, when was your last cleaning, are your cleanings being done right? And that's just arming the bars and restaurants with information to get the best out of their system. So, and then we'll come back, after we go through and check everything out, we will come back with some recommendations. We're offering up bi-weekly cleanings. Obviously, we charge for it. We're a third-party company, but
It's America, here to make money.
Exactly. But if you hire us, you're
Get
hiring a
started.
place that cares the most about your
Yeah,
system.
for
right?
sure.
That's what we're here to do. And then, we'll make recommendations for your long draw system. We'll make recommendations to clean up your cooler and put new materials in there. Make sure you're getting stainless steel, getting the brass out of your system,
Yeah.
new tubing, stuff like that.
But I understand and appreciate your love for the breweries, and I have a huge love for the guild, the breweries. I'm one of their biggest supporters because I just believe in what they do and I love the community. But I also want people to understand that own regular restaurants that this is a very important aspect as well. I mean,
Enormously.
if you have beer, it's important to be able to do this.
Yep.
It is, yeah. We've actually just done a couple of them, just getting started, and it's been for regular bars and restaurants
Yeah.
that we've done. By and large, not all of them, but by and large, breweries do a pretty good job nowadays of taking care of their lines. There was a time in the past where I've got a lot of blank looks when I would talk to a brewery about how their lines are cleaned and things like that. It's been a very long time ago, and it's been, not here. It was when I worked at Micromatic, and it's kind of a nationwide thing where they just were, once it was in the keg, you didn't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I see brewers and breweries take very good care. They're some of the cleanest lines in town because they're cleaning them very consistently. But it's more than anything, this is for bars and restaurants to take advantage of. And like you said, that report that we're going to give, it's really just arming you with so much information that's really relevant to your system. Better to help you take real ownership of this system that belongs to you.
Yeah.
And you're the only person that's going to get the best out of it. If you don't care about it, expecting someone else to care about it for free is a precarious position to put yourself in. So giving them all of that information, and like you said, we'll make recommendations with kind of a, red, yellow, green situation where red is kind of, these are critical things that you definitely need to address. It might be a small gas leak, CO2. Not everyone may know this, but CO2 is a very dangerous animal.
Yeah.
And walk-in coolers are sealed up. A walk-in cooler filled with CO2 is a problem, and it's a problem that happens very, very quickly. It happened to me in the past, and it was pure dumb luck that I fell out of the door hadn't closed yet, and I fell backwards whenever it happened. So ever since that day, I take it very, very seriously.
That's like Han Solo and carbonite shit.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It scared the shit out of me, for real.
Oh, man.
But, there are things that are critical that you really need to address.
Yeah.
And then from there, things that you really should address.
Right.
And then, green is, these are things I would recommend if you really want to maximize the profitability of your beverage program, your draft system, whether it's just beer, if it's wine, cocktails, cold brew coffee, all of the things that are there. If you want to maximize it, then these are the things you can do. And then, you're armed with all of the information. You can make the best decision as a bar or restaurant owner of what's really important to us here and what do we need to do. And feel free to give us a call.
Perfect.
If you don't, you don't, and that's okay. I still, it's kind of the thing I've always wanted to arm people with as much information as possible so that you're making good decisions. And if you call somebody else, then, you call somebody else.
Yeah. Dude, I've had people come to me 7 years later, you just do what you do.
Call me
and
eventually.
they come when they come. Yeah.
Yeah. And and again, a huge catalyst for this big push is we really want to correct a lot of the misinformation out there about the draft system. So there's the kind of gas you're putting on the system, the maintenance on the system. It's so much is being neglected, and it just doesn't have to be.
Right.
And usually all that's fixed just by the customer knowing. If they just know it's important, they'll start doing the work. So a bar owner, restaurant owner, they want to, they care about their thing.
Yeah.
It's their baby. It's their business. It's what supports their family and the people around them. And we know they care, and they would care more if they just had the information. So a huge, the reason why it's free, the reason why we're pushing YouTube, the reason why we're here talking to you is really to push the information out there and give that value away anywhere we can, so that everyone's armed with the info they need so they can be successful.
Well, we're gonna push it. It's gonna be, it's gonna come out in this and the link. I've got a flyer I've got going out to all new prospects. It's gonna be in my newsletter, so all sorts of stuff. I'll even say something on Monday for you. That's wonderful. Now, that all being said, I know how easy it is to run a business, right? Real simple. It's
simple.
just so all the things. But personally, and Josh, I'll start with you.
Okay.
What's your non-negotiable for the day that you have to do for yourself before you get all deep dived into the business? And
Oh man, I wish I was that structured. Before I dive into the business, well, there's a standing rule at work that you typically don't talk to me before 10 a.m.
Okay.
I'm not a morning person.
You have coffee?
I need to have a couple coffees or some other caffeine source for sure. And then Scott likes to, poke that button as much as he can. We've been working together for a long time. But no, I've been trying to lighten up on that a bit, especially now that, I'm a boss and not just a coworker. So, but as far as structured, just a thing I have to do, I don't know.
Just wake up. I
Yeah,
mean, I had
just wake up.
ATL Wings on here last
Yeah.
time, and he's like, just get out of bed.
Yeah, I
And
get
that's
up.
okay.
Yep, I get up, I start moving, and then usually I try and keep my morning tasks low demand.
Yeah.
Because I just know how my brain works, and then
What time do you go to bed?
me. Lately it's been better. Lately it's been better. I've been getting to bed around 9, 10 o'clock, but
Okay.
I will often be a night owl. I'll jump on a video game or binge watching a show or something, and I'll get to bed at noon or 1 o'clock in the morning, or midnight,
Noon in the morning.
midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes. So it's not the healthiest of habits, but I'm trying to fix all that. So
What about you, Scott? What's your non-negotiable?
Really, the big thing for me that's non-negotiable, and Josh and I actually have this in common. As important as the business and everything is, and running it is to us, and we really try and put things forward to be there for customers whenever they call and be available for them. But I have a time where my phone turns off at night and it doesn't come back on until 7 in the morning.
Love it.
I mean, I can look and see if someone has called, but it is time at home with my family.
Yeah.
My wife and I didn't have a kid until a little bit later in life. I'm an old man now, and we got a almost 14-year-old daughter at home. And it's spending time with them and making sure that when I'm there, I'm focused on that and not thinking I've got a little bit of a squirrel brain. So I've fought so hard all of my life to focus on things.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. So it's an effort. And I'm better now as an old guy than I was when I was young, but it's something very easy for me to get, I see something shiny and I'm like, ooh, and okay, I'll work on that. Even though I'm in the middle of this and I know better, I go, well, this isn't going to get done if I don't stop and do this. So taking that time and doing that is really the big thing that's really a non-negotiable for me. Other than that, I'm super flexible and I'm freewheeling and I just, whatever comes.
Now, I didn't realize we were getting this deep, but I also have a wife and 2 daughters who I love very much and will always be my most favorite.
Just in case you're listening, I love you too.
They will always be my most favorite people to hang out with.
I love it. A little applause for you that.
Clearly, I just love my family more than Josh does.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for some rapid fire questions?
Sure.
I love
Yeah,
rapid
All
fire.
right. And by the way, have I known you without a beard?
I don't think anyone has.
Without a full beard.
Without a full beard.
Years
He was
ago,
born
I
with
had
that.
what I refer to as a prison beard.
Okay,
It was a little bit kind of an anchor thing going on.
You have
there.
beautiful eyes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like. It's weird to be like sitting
Why?
here staring at
It's
it.
dreamy.
That's why he's sales and marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
And
why I'm
beard.
there.
Right. Hypnotize you into.
Jeez. Hold on. There you go.
Hey-o.
All right, you both can answer these. Well, I think I know what the answer to this one for you will be: workout or sleep in.
Oh, sleeping. Oh man, as much as I can. Another reason why I love my wife is on weekends. Like we that's another thing. We don't do a whole lot of work on the weekends. If there's an emergency and a place is just in dire need
Right,
and they
you'll
need to
go.
get their beer back up, we're going to go out there and help. But my wife is amazing. And she lets me sleep in on Saturdays and Sundays. I love it so much.
That's great.
And I don't thank her enough.
What's your wife's name?
Samantha.
Samantha. Samantha, you're amazing.
Yes, she is.
She is amazing.
She is amazing.
What's your answer?
I mean, I don't sleep in, so I should work out more than I do. I don't.
You
do it.
were. You're posting
I was,
videos all the
I'm
time.
just not consistent. Work things come up, and I have this to do.
Yeah, screw my health. I gotta go
Yeah,
work.
right. Like I'm indestructible. I'll be fine.
I'm in my 40s.
Yeah, I'm good.
I remember those days.
Yeah. But no, I read more.
Cool.
I like to read. And in the morning, my wife sleeps in. She's a sleeper. I'm up at 5:30, 6 o'clock if I sleep in. I wake up. That's my alone time, which is the thing I learned from my dad. Like I can remember as a kid waking. If I woke up early, like when he was getting ready for work and earlier than I was normally up, he would be in the worst mood.
Right.
Because I was invading his personal time. And then I became an old guy with a wife and a kid, and someone would show up before they normally do, and I would be like, why are they up right now?
That's how I was with my kids. Now they're out of the house. Cows or sheep?
Cows.
Okay.
Because beef.
Yeah.
Cows?
Yeah, cows.
All right, that works. 80s or 90s?
90s.
He's a lot younger than me.
Yeah.
Warrant or rat?
Rat for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are these music?
Yeah. Josh won't have many answers on the music front.
Yeah. Beatles?
I actually had the Go-Go's or Vixen on here.
Don't know them either. I'm so
man,
horrible
I'm an
at
80s
music,
kid
man.
too, though, so I might go Go-Go's on that. just 'cause
Yeah.
I was an MTV generation kid, you know.
Bro, I had pictures of those girls in my room.
Yeah,
God only
like,
knows.
all the videos. Yeah, right. Turned me into a real degenerate.
Beans or rice?
That's a great question.
Thinking
Man, oh man.
beans
Actually,
and
this is
rice.
the hardest question.
We're not even done yet.
Yeah. You know,
You can say both.
man. No, I really want to choose one. Let's go beans. I think there's a little more versatility to beans.
All right.
Yeah,
beans.
I'll
Love
go
beans.
All right. Aliens or Loch Ness Monster?
Loch Ness Monster.
Aliens.
All right.
Yeah, aliens.
I
Definitely.
like to play that button. All right. Build the bar around draft system or squeeze it into the leftover space.
You got to build it around the draft system.
Build it around the draft system.
Yeah, you can do some really cool things with draft systems. The way the tower looks, it can really be like a crown jewel.
Yeah.
In the bar or restaurant.
Gold plated.
Oh man, we've done some beautiful towers, some really amazing.
Oh, we've done
jobs.
crazy stuff.
It's
Yeah.
such great looking things, and it really becomes the highlight of the whole.
What are
thing.
some local ones out here you guys are proud of if people wanted to go see your tower?
T-Box up in
Up in Cave Creek.
Creek
yeah,
was
it's
really cool.
a virtual golf
Okay.
place up in Cave Creek. Crazy awesome draft system.
All right.
And the virtual golf situation that he has up there is super legit.
Yep.
All the tracking stuff he uses is the same that
Yeah.
PGA uses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really.
I didn't even know
legit.
that
Really cool
place.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Formation Brewing downtown's also a wall.
Yeah.
a wall
Everything that
we
we've done
really,
at
really
Red
like.
House.
Nice.
Yeah, Red
Has-
House.
Yeah,
Oh,
that PV Ren House. Well, Dala was just in here.
Yeah.
She designed the place. and
Yeah.
you guys went in.
The cask system at
Turned
Red
out
House
so good.
was great. Yeah, we've done cask, like the beer engines
Yeah.
before, and don't tell them this, but we were a little nervous about and how it was going to turn out on the counter. We knew everything would work, all the components were. That's not what we were worried about. We were worried about the medium that was being installed in the stone counter that they have there. And it worked out so beautifully. It looks amazing, and there's no issues whatsoever. That system's really cool, too.
You guys are nerds.
Yeah, we
We
are.
are nerds.
All right, last question. Invest in top tier faucets and copplers. Is that what?
Couplers.
Couplers, or save there and spend it on the glycol pack and controls.
Oh.
I mean,
I didn't
both
think of that
are-
myself.
Yeah,
ChatGPT is great.
both of those are so important because your glycol it's going to control your temperature, and that
the
on a
engine
long
of
draw
the thing.
system, it's so important to have
Yeah.
complete temperature control all the way through.
This is so
but-
awesome watching you guys struggle because I have no
Yeah.
idea what the fuck
Yeah.
you're talking about right now.
So the
We'll nerd out on
the
this
glycol
stuff.
chiller, and when we're designing a system, we always overestimate the BTU load. So basically, what where the beer leaves the cooler is going to start getting warm. The glycol machine keeps everything cold from point A to point
Okay.
B. And oftentimes the glycol system is undersized, and it's not working efficiently, and it's not doing the job it needs to do to keep the beer cold as it gets to the faucet.
Back to the beginning of the podcast. Keep the beer.
Exactly. If it's undersized, your beer is going to start pouring warm
Yeah.
and foamy, and it's not ideal. So we always we bump it up a bit and make sure that we round up on our BTUs and everything. And,
It's Arizona, after all.
Yeah, it's Arizona.
Right.
A lot of trunk lines are running through hot ceilings and stuff like that. So, that would be the answer. Is definitely the glycol machine, and it's the heart of the system, especially in a long draw system. It's got to be right, otherwise.
Yeah, if
nothing
your temperature's
works.
not right, everything is going to go wrong.
Yeah.
I love it. It's temperature stuff. All right, before we exit out of here, obviously we're going to put all of your handles, everything in show notes, but what do you want to verbally promote? I mean,
The free system health checks.
Cool.
So we're getting it going. We're leaning hard on that. And then coming very, very soon, hopefully by the time this podcast comes out, we'll have some content on the YouTube channel. All free stuff, craft culture draft solutions on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't think it's more complicated than that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is and will be. We're going to start posting snippets of this after you've released, of course. and as well as other
Yeah.
relevant content on there. That's all going to be free information.
I love it, and I think we had talked about this, but I'd love to volunteer myself coming and doing a video of you guys doing an install and just kind of, because that's added value for my clientele as well. So that would be fun to do.
Yeah, would love to.
Very fun.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys for coming on a Friday.
Thank you so
It's
much.
beer 30. It's time for you guys to go.
It's Friday. Time to go.
Friday, time to go. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Please follow, subscribe to the podcast, all that good stuff, and check out these guys' social. They're such great personalities and such a wonderful local business, which I know you guys go out of state too, right? I mean,
we have.
Yeah.
We did 5 bars at the brand new Kansas City International Airport.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats
For
on
that.
Yeah.
Louisiana. We did a brewery in Logan, Utah, in the Cache Valley, which is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen.
That's so cool. Yeah. Well, support local and support these guys, and especially if you're opening up a place that, well, all places are serving beer at this point. Definitely call and hire them and check them out. And thank you again for listening. And until next time, peace out.
Thank you.